Good afternoon, learners and teachers from the Western Cape, and welcome to this, our final session of Telematics for Business Studies in 2016. At least that is for the grade 12s. I trust that you had a good day, and I want you to just sit back, relax, take off your shoes, and enjoy this session with us. Today I'm being joined by a good colleague and friend of mine, Pranas. Good afternoon and welcome to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Momberg.
It's good to have you back again.
Always good to be here.
Great. Learners, yes, today we're going to look at forms of ownership, and you should know that forms of ownership forms part of your main topic called business ventures. And so we are going to look at the different types of forms of ownership and the impact that the form of ownership has on a particular business. Now, all the content we're going to cover today is contained in this booklet. I wonder if we could just have a overhead shot of this booklet. This telematics booklet, Business Studies 2016. The content that we're going to cover today is all contained in this booklet, particularly if you turn to page 23, as a matter of fact page 22, up until page number 28. So you do not have to take notes frantically, trying to keep pace with what's on the slides. All the information on the slides were taken from the resource booklet. Now, what about Pranas? That was a lot from my side. What are we going to cover today with the learners and the teachers? And by the way, wherever you're present, please let us know, and we will certainly acknowledge your presence. Pranas, what are we going to cover today?
Well, certainly lots about forms of ownerships. We're going to be looking at the characteristics, advantages, disadvantages, and comparisons of forms of ownership, particularly sole trader, partnership, closed corporation, cooperatives, private company, and public companies. So today is quite a mouthful.
Absolutely, but can I just add, that looks a lot like content that were covered in grade 10 and 11. Isn't that so?
Yes, that's right. And so it would make perfect sense to not go in depth with certain of those topics today. When we look particularly at the advantages and the disadvantages of the forms of ownership.
However, when we look at the comparison between those different types of forms of ownerships, I think the teacher should rather focus on that and let the learners go and study the characteristics, advantages and disadvantages, because that is recap work. Eh?
That's right. And today we're also going to test their knowledge and see how well they remember that information.
Okay,
and that's going to be super exciting.
Did you include it in the PowerPoint presentation?
Certainly.
Okay, great stuff.
Certainly.
So that's the first thing they should know. And what else should they know?
Right. We are going to focus on information that is in the exam guidelines, also part of the lesson preparation. They need to critically evaluate the forms of ownership in terms of the following criteria: capacity, taxation, management, capital, division of profits, and legislation. That's also a mouthful, Mr. Moore.
Yeah, but it's important that learners must know those criteria, because very often learners don't even know. We spoke earlier and you said you've got an easy way for them to remember those criteria. Are we going to deal with that later on?
We can.
Okay, certainly.
Or we can do it now. It all depends, Mr. Momberg. What do you think? Should we keep them waiting or should we?
Let's keep them in suspense.
Let's keep them in suspense.
Okay, so that's the second thing you should know. And the third thing you should know about forms of ownership, Pranas, is?
They need to evaluate the impact of the different forms of ownership on the success or failure of a business. I think that's a mighty important one as well.
Yeah, that word impact.
Evaluate the impact.
Yeah, that word, they often ask it in the exams, eh?
Yes.
And learners should know that when they see that word impact, they then need to refer to what?
The positives, the advantages or negatives, or the disadvantages.
Okay, so in any situation, any question, when they ask impact, the learner should also always refer to advantages or disadvantages. Okay, good.
Absolutely.
And then important part of that question, Pranas, is that they must discuss the success or the failure and not both.
That's a very good one. I think that's a very good one. We're going to talk a lot about that
Okay.
in today's session, because we're all about how learners can gain the maximum points in the exam.
Good.
That's what it's about. And we're going to help them
Correct.
greatly with that today.
Okay.
With your help.
But also I see that Kanya Maputa is tuned in, and we've also got Kobus Low tuned in. Let me just give you a reminder of the SMS number. The SMS number is 31498. 31498. I often go to schools and they tell me, but sir, we are watching and we can't get any SMSs through, or you don't want to read our SMSs. Now, that's not true. Please, if we receive it, we will certainly acknowledge it. Farnas,
We
anybody?
also have another school here, Lokweng Senior Secondary School.
Good.
They also tune in and they're ready and they're excited.
And we
That's
say
great.
welcome to them.
Welcome.
Let's see quickly. How much do you remember of your grade 10 and 11 work? Farnas, are we going to do some baseline questions?
Okay.
Now, this question requires from the learners to tell us, and it's the learners, not the teachers, eh?
Yes, the learners.
Which forms of ownership are we referring to when we say that the individual assumes all sorts of risks exposed to the business? Now, that word individual is already a clue, isn't it?
That's a clue. That's a giveaway.
That's a giveaway, eh?
And that's what they should do in exams or any test. Look for clues.
Look for clues.
Look for keywords.
Yes, look for keywords. I wonder, Farnas, if any of those learners can tell us which forms of ownership is described when we talk about the individual assuming all sorts of risks.
We're getting answers here.
Yes.
We're
Have you got
getting
an answer?
answers. We got 3.
Okay, from?
They're not saying which school is this. One is saying Sole Trader.
Yes.
Sole Trader. Please acknowledge us.
Yes, no,
That was Lokweng Senior Secondary.
okay.
You see,
Yes, now
acknowledge them.
We said we are going to acknowledge them. Okay, so their fingers were warmed up already. Eh?
And then we have Ringeville
Okay.
High.
Those
Also in.
answers came back super fast. So let's see quickly. The next one. Oh, there's the answer. Sole Trader.
Well done.
Aha. This one learners often get wrong. Now, because this is contained in the new Companies Act of 2008.
They're typing already.
Oh, they're typing already.
An agreement between 2 or more people.
What
Oh, we have a
forms
number of
ownership?
answers. There's a number of people typing, messages coming through.
Yes.
Palmerton High. Let's see, what do they have there? Contract.
No,
An
that's not correct.
agreement between 2 or more people. They have as a
Remember
contract,
you-
partnership agreement.
Yeah, that one is correct. Eh? Which school?
And then we have from Bishop, also partnership from
Yes.
Bishop. Well done, Bishop.
Good.
Let's see.
Farnas, can we take the next one quickly? The next one. Okay, there is partnership. Aha. Then the name must end with the suffix CC.
Let's see.
The name of this form
Okay,
of ownership.
okay. They're typing.
While they are typing, Port St. John's High, they say, okay, they could be, I think this is a delayed answer because it's a previous one. The name must end with the suffix CC. Who do we have here? Okay, Masikanise
Okay,
also
here
got
we
a
go.
delayed answer.
We got an answer also from Lokweng Senior Secondary, close cooperation.
Close cooperation.
Yes, let's see who else. Somebody else is also typing here. I've got an answer also, close cooperation here as well.
But Farnas, can
No
you,
school name, please insert the name of the school so we can see where you're from.
but Farnas, can you see there's another clue in that statement?
Yes,
That abbreviation CC, eh?
the abbreviation says it all.
Okay, let's see quickly.
Akina.
There, Port St. John's gave their answer, close cooperation.
I just love this
Aha.
response. There's so many responses here. I can't keep up.
You can't keep up.
There's an Akina.
Farnas, let me just interrupt you for a second because there was an important question asked by a learner from Marizel High School. And the question is, why is it that close corporations are no longer allowed? Now, learners, let me firstly commend the learners from Marizel High School for asking that question. Because the best way to learn is if when you ask questions. And so thank you very much for that question. Now, the closed corporations, we've got the New Companies Act of 2008. And that New Companies Act prohibits the establishment of new closed corporations. Existing ones can continue, but you cannot establish a new one. However, if there is a dormant closed corporation, one that hasn't been used, that exists only in name, then somebody can buy that and then can continue as a closed corporation. So your simple answer to your question is the Companies Act of 2008 prohibits the establishment of new closed corporations.